Hey everybody, it's Respiratory Flux. Call me Flux for short, or whatever you want to call me. And in the last episode, we finished up the Fire Temple. And yeah, we saved the Gorons, awakened Darunia as a sage. And in this episode, we're going to, well, keep going with things like that, I suppose. I didn't really actually end up putting a whole ton of thought into what I was going to be doing in this episode after clearing out the Fire Temple. So this is just kind of gonna be winging it for the most part, probably. Okay, you have this here. You can take care of these business scrubs. I don't think this is actually anything important, but I might as well check. So I use some bombs. Yeah, nah. 40 rupees for 5 bombs. No thanks. And this one, leave me alone. Sell you arrows. 30 pieces, 70 rupees. That's a... Okay. You know what? I had more money than I needed. And I hate the fact that pressing B on that counts as saying yes. Because with so many other games, it's not that way. In return, sell you Deku Nuts. 5 pieces, 20 rupees they are. That's also kind of worth it, but I don't need them. Don't really need a lot of things like that. You just find so many items on the ground that unless you really waste them all for whatever reason, you really don't need to buy consumable items all that much. Like potions, maybe, if you have a tough spot. This is the one thing you really want to do here. Is first, break open that so you don't have to worry about how you get back and forth between the two halves of the crater. And then break open those rocks and go in here, because this is a great fairy fountain. And you know what that means. Time to play Zelda's Lullaby. Yep, and get ourselves something good. That's just how fairy fountains work, really, is you play a song, you get something nice. So, and also a really awkward view. This is a great fairy of wisdom. I'm going to enhance your magic power. Receive it now! This is extremely useful. What this does is enhances your magic meter. Your magic power has been enhanced. You have twice as much magic power. Yeah, so your meter is twice as long now. Battle made weird. Please come back to see me. Yeah. Go dive into your pool and vanish. That is way longer. And it just feels much better having that much. Fortunately, you don't really have to use much magic up to this point of the game. Ugh, that was weird. Like, I think the only things we have that really use magic right now are Furor's Wind and Din's Fire. I think. Yeah. Those are the only things we really have that use magic other than our spin attack. Also, the hammer is just so awesome to use, even if it doesn't really always have a huge point to it. Oh, just one of these grottos. Don't really need to be in here, but might as well get some bombs, I guess. I guess I probably could have used a little bit of a refill, but it's not that hugely important. But yeah. We're pretty much done in Death Mountain Crater for now, so why don't we head on up and see what's up here at the top of Death Mountain Trail. We don't really need to see that great fairy, but... Hey there, big guy. Your arm is sticking into the mountain. That's a little odd. My brother opened a new store. It's Metagoron's Blade Store. However, I am better at making blades. Hylian carpenters, praise me for my skills. I'm not lying. Alright. Well, I could use a blade. But I guess I'm not going to get one. Okay, not quite what I was intending to do there, but you know what? It's a little weird, just in general, honestly. But yeah, now that you have the hammer, you can break open some more rocks. And I don't know if there's any here, but I'm pretty sure there's a golden skulltula hiding under some rocks somewhere on this trail that you can't get until you have the hammer. Oh, it's probably further down, but I'm still going to wait for it to turn nighttime here, just so I can grab it while I'm on the mountain. It's getting closer to nighttime. Aha! There was one right here. Nice. And I know there was another one further down a little ways, but it shouldn't take too long to get there. That rock we could have blown up as a kid. It's kind of funny that we didn't. But no, the one I remembered is actually, if you go over towards Goron City, cut back in here. Pretty sure I heard one here. And yes. Yes, there is one here. Nice. There's also a couple other things we can do in Goron City now, but I don't know if there's any huge point to doing this, but I'm just going to anyway. I'll be honest, I'm just kind of looking around, filling time. In this room, instead of wasting bombs, now that we have our hammer, we can literally just break any of these rocks open and get through this entire thing way faster than we could as a kid. It's kind of refreshing. Don't think there's another Skulltula, but there is this other chest that we couldn't get back to. I don't remember what's in here. It's probably... Oh yeah, it's 200 rupees. We did not need that. Okay. There's really way too much money in this game, and it's like, I'm not complaining that there's money readily available, because honestly, sometimes there are a few things worse in a game than needing a lot of money and not having access to getting it very easily, and making it just kind of a tedious grind to get the money that you need to do basic things. But in a less annoying and more just kind of why sort of sense, having too much money in this game is kind of, well, not terrible, but amusing, oddly. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really not sure if I have much of a point of saying anything that has much point at this point. Point. But, yeah. We pretty much did what we can up here on the mountain. And I don't think there's anything else super important or necessary going on in Kakariko Village right now either. So, and I don't recall if the hammer really adds anything that we can do elsewhere. Yeah, I guess my usual habit of doing things in videos between dungeons that... Aha! Here's the thing we could do. It's not necessary at all. It's redeads, so it's probably not fun at all. But... and I could probably play the Sun Song, but it would make this a lot easier, but I'm lazy. I'm pretty sure this is just more rupees that we can't carry. But... yep. Like, there's so much money in this game. Did they think that you were going to be constantly buying things from the stores? Because you really don't need to spend it on anything. It's kind of lame. Just how much money you get when you don't really use any of it. It's just like... I don't know, I don't really want to complain about it because it doesn't really make the game worse. It just makes me feel worse. If that makes any sense. It's just... Epona? I don't think that's how rivers work. You can't just run across the river. There's a bridge there for a reason. I don't know. The game has some interesting AI things going for it. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But no, that is a true statement, really. I don't know what I'm really doing anymore. Because there's just... okay, Link, just... yeah. I guess there's one thing I could do here in the field, but I don't want to right now, so I'm not going to. I guess it feels weird, but I'm just gonna go on with the story because I can't think of a whole lot more to really do right now. It's kinda... it feels weird. Also, that tree disappeared from when we were a kid to now. So did the guy sitting there selling beans, but that Octorok kind of makes that hard, I guess. But if it weren't obvious from the fact that we did Forest Mountain Zora, Kokiri Goron Zora, Kokiri Goron Zora. Goron Zora sounds like Gorgonzola, and now I just want cheese. Okay. But no, it's just like... there's just not that much particularly going on. Also, now we can stand in this part of the river, and we can go up here without having to worry about taking the chicken. So if you need to get up to the stuff up here, and you don't want to do it as a kid, you can do it now. Aha! I knew there was something I could do up here. I knew it. Let me just check the map. You can actually, like, see when you have all of the golden sculptulas in an area on your map, but often it's like, because Zora's River counts Zora's domain, really, here, as being the thing. And yes, you see that arrow over by Gerudo Valley. There's something to do there that we're not doing yet, so just hold your horses. But The Zora's Domain dot includes Zora's Fountain, Zora's Domain, Zora's River. So, yeah, there's not... Just because there's not the dot there doesn't mean we don't have all the ones in the river. So, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here, but point being, the pattern for the child dungeons was forest, mountain, water. So the forest, mountain, river. And now we're doing that pattern again here for the... We're doing the river after we did the mountain, after we did the forest. That is... I don't think I ever noticed those rupees before. But there's really not a whole lot of purpose to them right now, because we can't get them for one, as we're currently equipped, and we can't really hold them, even if we could, but... Why don't we check on the Zoras, just to see if we can repeat that pattern? It seems like the air is a little cold here, because you can kind of see snow flurries in the air. Wonder if that means anything. Yeah. Zora's Domain froze over. Actually, let me just play... Let's play the Sun Song. Just because I want to be in here at nighttime, just to make sure... Because I feel like there are golden sculptures that are going to show up only at nighttime even... Yep, there's one up there that wasn't there before. I thought I remembered one there. But that's all, that wouldn't show up unless it was nighttime. So... Yeah, Oh. We can't get through there. And just so you know, Din's Fire is not going to do anything. So... Din's Fire is not going to do anything to that ice. Because... Okay. Well, why don't we go up and see if the king has anything to tell us? He might be able to give us some advice on how to sort out this, well, doesn't look like he's going to be giving us any advice anytime soon. So... Yeah, this has turned into an ice world, which is kind of fitting for me to be doing today because I just got back from shoveling snow off of our driveway when I'm recording this, so that's fun and all. But, yeah. Clearly there's something to be done here about this, but the game gives us very little direction as to what that is to do. It's like, unlike in the other places where... Well, actually, Sheik kind of told us where to go to get to the Forest Temple. And when we got to Goron City, we had the one Goron who was telling us, hey, think this is what's going on, go to the Fire Temple. Here we don't really have that to the same extent. We kind of get here and we have to really go looking for some idea of what to do next. I mean, granted, I already know. So, it's kind of cheating for me to be saying that. But, as a kid, I could imagine you just coming here and... As a kid, or even just as an adult who hasn't played this game before, I could imagine just coming to this place and just being very confused and having to really explore and figure out where to go next. Especially since Sheik's advice didn't actually say anything about the next temple being up here at the Zora's area. One, because it said something about under a vast lake, which would be Lake Hylia, if you would imagine, if you would think about that. I don't think I ever really went under there. I didn't even realize you could. There isn't really a whole lot of point to it. But that's really weird and interesting that you can. But yeah. You got a bunch of ice flows just kind of floating in the middle of Zora's fountain. And it is a bit hard to walk on them without slipping and sliding around. And then it makes you jump from one to the other because you can't climb onto them out of the water. But yeah, you can get a piece of heart here just to have that, I guess. But then it seems like there's really not a whole lot to do. But because of these ice flows, we can actually get up into that little cave that we might have seen as a kid, but we couldn't actually reach it. But so now we can. In the next episode, we're going to explore something of a mini dungeon that hasn't actually happened up to this point in the game yet. Got a mini dungeon before we can actually enter the next proper dungeon. So, next time, we will do that. This has been Somni Respiratory Flux. Respond, vibrate, feedback, resonate in the comments below. Tell me how you think I did. And next time, we'll explore this cave. May the good elephant guide your way.